Yo, what is up guys? It's the Goblin and welcome back to another Call of Duty Modern Warfare video. And tonight we just had the patch update 1.09 be posted a few minutes ago with the, it's actually available to download in-game. It's a 1.09 title update, and also they posted the patch notes up on Reddit. We're going to discuss, these are official from Infinity Ward, what was changed in this game. Now, it was a 13 gigabyte update, at least for me on PS4, and there isn't that much, like 13 gigabytes worth of changes you would think in these patch notes, so probably they did load in maybe, you know, the season 1, some of the content for that, and keeping that low key in the files, or something must have been added in for this to be 13 gigs, but they fixed a bunch of bugs, a bunch of things, and also did a little bit of balance changes in this game. So go ahead and drop a like on this video if you guys could. Let's go ahead and go for 702 likes. That would be absolutely incredible if we could hit that. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new and not already subscribed, and let's go ahead and break down these 11/22/19 patch notes for patch 109. Smack that like, takes a millisecond, here we go. First of all, what's new? Spec Operations, Special Ops. Basically, you have Harbinger and Brimstone, so two basically new modes or missions, I guess you could say, into the Spec Ops. Then you have the classic Special Operations Door Kick, 3-star rating system and rewards, a 3-star rating system based on time completed, XP and MP unlocks based on your star rating after finishing a game. So pretty big update for those that are fans of Spec Ops. Personally, for multiplayer, what did we have in terms of new stuff and modes? We have Realism Mosh Pit, which is Domination, Hardpoint, Headquarters, and Kill Confirmed, and we have Gun Game added. Now, personally, I haven't logged on yet to see if they removed. I'm still currently updating because it just was released, so you got to update the file and then copy the file, but they obviously added the Realism Mosh Pit and Gun Game. I don't know if that means they're going to have removed Shoot House 24/7. I guess we're going to have to wait and see. You can let me know in the comment section down below. I hope they didn't because I really love that, but we'll have to just wait and see. Next, General. We have quite a few bug fixes and different fixes where I'll be able to show that up on the screen right here to talk about, because I don't want to talk about every single one of these, but just the important ones. So a lot of these are bug fixes, you know, that are just fixing things that were messing people up, but some other things are in here. Accessibility, they added the option to always sprint, so I'm guessing that's a new setting option where if you set that on, you never have to walk, you don't have to spam your button forward. I think I had this setting enabled for me personally on Fortnite, and that's a way you could do it. I don't know if it's going to be the best for Call of Duty to always sprint. I mean, sometimes you do want to be walking, I guess, but the majority of the time you do want to be sprinting, so that is a new option available. Next is they shorten the amount of time an execution animation plays. So this is very interesting, basically meaning that execution should be faster now based on the animation being slower, because the animation taking, not being slower, but taking less time, because the animations were honestly a bit long, and I get that they have to find a mix between making it look like a movie and absolutely crazy in the game, and also making it practical and easy to use. So that's what we have as far as that. Next is Footsteps. Now, finally, some more changes to Footsteps. We've been talking about this, I've been talking about this for so long. They adjusted the volume and sound type played for crouch walk and walking while aiming down sight. So very good stuff here. Of course, they've said this. How many times have they said in the patch notes they fixed Footsteps? It's got to be like 4 or 5 times now. It feels like, maybe 3, but it feels like at least 4 or 5 times. And basically by doing this, they adjusting the volume and the sound type played for crouch walk and walking while ADS. Now, walking while ADS is significant, but the crouch walking here is so damn important, especially if you're using like double time on an SMG. You're trying to, you know, double time speeds up your crouch walking speed by, what is it, around like 33% or something. So using that combined with these new changes should be pretty good, and hopefully you don't get punished as much for running around without dead silence, which is something that this game has been known for since the release. Next is going to be with dead silence. They actually did a fix for the field upgrade of dead silence not lasting the correct amount of time when CDL rules are enabled, so that's more for a competitive private match sort of scene. Next, we have a fix for nameplates being visible in a certain location on Piccadilly, and updates to the obituary, which is the same thing as the kill feed. They just call it the obituary. I guess that's like a dev term for it. I never really even knew about that being a term. I mean, I guess it makes sense, right? Obituary and kill feed. It kind of does make sense, but I've always just called it the kill feed. Let me know if you guys have been calling it the obituary. I think that might be some more dev term. I don't know. Maybe I'm the dumb one here, but me and my friends have just called it kill feed, and I've been playing Call of Duty basically nonstop for a decade. So what they did with the kill feed is they removed Avenged and Save Player, Play of the Game Owner, and Player Rank increases. So this is definitely a good change. That was getting a little bit too crowded. It seems like by now they should have the kill feed down to what it should be, but every year they're trying to innovate and then they have to pull back a little bit. So those kill feed updates for people going for montages, sniping, or just trying to get clips in general have definitely been fixed. We also have some private match fixes for players who are playing in private matches. There's a bunch of different bugs and glitches going around. Not sure if these are all the fixes everyone's been been asking for, but I will show those up on the screen right now for people that are playing private match, because of course all of your competitive matches are based off of private matches with CWL settings with different things like that. Next, we have Killstreak Fixes as well, where a couple things changed to the kill streaks. They fixed an issue where selected kill streaks would revert to the previous selection mid-match. So I'm guessing that was the one where people could sabotage you and switch your kill streaks, although I guess we'll have to wait and see. It didn't seem like for me they were reverting to my previous selection. It seemed like for me they were just giving me some random BS. I mean, I had times where it gave me like sentry gun as well as some weird kill streaks that I never really used, so I don't know if that's the fix for the one I'm talking about, but I hope it is. Next is a fix where players using the shield turret kill streak could see through smoke at certain angles with the side panels of the turret. So definitely just a lot of in general fixes here. We also have some things to the Call of Duty League that were changed. Fixes, I guess you could say, for more competitive players. These will affect your private matches as well. Show those ones up on the screen right now. The next thing that's notable here would be that the change where the one life mode fixes, where this was like ruining search and destroy. I thought it was just private match, but people were letting me know this is public match as well. The fix for the camera getting stuck on the death location when transitioning to spectate. This was like game breaking in search and destroy if you were competitive at all, because you would die and you would just, instead of going directly to spectate your teammate like it should work, and you can pick your teammate you want to spectate, right? It would let you spectate right on the spot that you died, and you could just be able to say, oh, there's one guy top brown, one guy back box, one guy bottom white, you know, just give all these different call outs and make it just so easy. It was really ridiculous. So hopefully that's been fixed. It says it has in these patch updates, patch notes. Next is for the infantry assault vehicle, reduced damage, radius, and lethality of the turret. So this is interesting for, of course, going after your tanks. I'm not sure if this affects just the tank kill streak or if this means all tanks overall. I think this should mean all tanks overall, right? Are the tanks in public matches known as infantry assault vehicles? I know I always see people like arguing over that with all the fancy lingo. I don't know for sure, but I hope it is. Reduced damage radius and lethality of the turret. They've been hinting at tank nerf, so I'm going to guess that is the nerf to the tank that we have as of right now. Infantry assault vehicles. Next is progression challenge mission fixes. Some more fixes that we have for a bunch of just bugs overall, which I will show all these up on the screen right now. A bunch of your officer challenges or challenges that were glitching are fixed. Lethals and tacticals. Single player bugs when selecting a mission. And in perks, it's noticeable that I guess you could say some of these perks are like amped, not stowing the riot shield as quickly as it should. Some of these other things like spotter, this is the most noticeable one. Spotter perk was not marking equipment, field upgrades, or kill streaks through walls and free-for-all. Fix for spotter perk not marking UAVs and slightly brightened outline. So they're basically just admitting that, hey, this perk did not work at all in free-for-all and we fixed it. So that's kind of, it kind of feels bad, man, if you've been using spotter and free-for-all and it really wasn't working, but that's what we have. Next, we have changes to weapons. A lot of stuff where weapons with the charms, with bugs, but the most notable thing I would say is that thermal scopes are now able to see through smoke grenades. This is funny because I thought this was one of their things that they were like so happy about. Look how we mixed it up with thermals. They work so differently in this game, and it looks like they just ended up reverting it right to how it worked in every other Call of Duty. And then the FN Scar 17, a slight increase in ADS time and a reduction to the barrel and bipod grip penalties. So this is interesting. Obviously, a reduction to the penalties helps out the Scar, but a slight increase in ADS time, this is interesting because there's a lot of confusion of, is this a buff or is this a nerf? So I went back and looked at previous patch updates where they would say a slight increase in ADS speed if it was a buff. ADS speed. I looked back on updates they did for the 1.08 patch update, and that's how they worded it, was an increase in ADS speed. So if they're increasing the time to ADS, that sounds like to me it's a nerf, but either way, it's just a slight increase in ADS time. So I'm sure people are going to argue over the lingo of that, but from thinking about it is weird how they would buff it by, you know, reducing the barrel and bipod grip penalties, but then a slight increase in ADS time. You would think that, you know, increasing the time it takes to aim down sights means the weapon is now worse. It is now nerfed. And usually they say slight increase in ADS speed. So honestly, I don't know. They really try to make it confusing with the words, but that is my opinion on it, and that's what I take from it. Looks like just changes overall for the Scar 17. And it seems like they're going to be slight anyway. I mean, reducing the penalties on the barrel and bipod grip. I mean, I guess I didn't really use the bipod grip, but maybe on the barrel, reducing those penalties could help it out and make it a lot better of a weapon. Next, we have just some other changes that were added into Spec Ops, video or voice chat audio settings, leaderboards and combat records, and survival. And yeah, just some general fixes for the rest of the stuff to round out these patch notes. So to be honest, this is a little bit underwhelming, I would say, as far as a 1.09 patch update. That's definitely what I would say. Yeah, I would say, you know, for sure underwhelming, but having those fixes into the one life modes, fixes into the tank, a few changes to the Scar, fixes to Spotter, fixes to a lot of the general bugs, and also I would say added in gun game. It's a fairly significant update. I was just definitely expecting more from this as the 1.09, and especially after I saw that it was 13 gigabytes. Me and my friends, who are a bunch of other YouTubers as well, we're all in a Discord, and we're like, oh my god, 13 gigabytes. Is this the overhaul? Is this where they change everything and make this game insane? And it doesn't really seem like this is the one. It seems like this is just more bug fixes and a few slight changes that hopefully are going to impact the game in a decent way, but we'll have to wait and see and test out all this stuff. Anyway, thanks for watching. Drop a like on this video, keeping you guys up to date, recording this right as the patch update or the patch notes and update come out, so drop a like if you made it to the end, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, and I'll catch you on the next one, and I'm out. Peace.